Lights out. And tonight on our Great American panel, he is the founder of Q, a learning community that mobilizes young Christians as leaders and is the author of the brand new book, Next Christians. Gabe Lyons is here. He's worked at the Washington Post, serving as an editorial writer, op-ed columnist, is the author of the book Enough. Fox News contributor, former NPR guy, Juan Williams is here. Well, come on.
You just love it.
No, I do.
You just start right from the beginning.
I did, but you know what? I also defended you because it was outrageous what happened. And she is the former chairwoman of the Virginia Republican Party and current vice president of the Young America's Foundation. Kate Obenchain is here. All right, I just wanted to know, did you prefer an enhanced pat-down or do you prefer the full body scan?
You know, it doesn't matter to me as long as we're safe. I mean, and I think that's what's paramount, is that as Americans we are safe and that we're sure that people aren't bringing... you
have no problem with somebody grabbing your crotch and your groin and
they don't need to do it. Look, that's why they have the enhanced surround scan. I mean, that's the way they can tell.
All right, so some guy's sitting in a room looking at your naked body.
That's not your naked body. This guy, by the way, the guy that was on with you talking about stuff, that guy was weird. You don't do that. That's
he's not a pilot. What do you mean he's weird?
That's not true.
These scanners have not even been shown to work. They would not have uncovered what the Christmas bomber was using. They don't uncover plastics or liquids or gels. And the Israeli experts on this say they don't even want to use it because it doesn't work. It's a complete
Well,
ripoff.
now, I was at the Heritage Institute yesterday, Heritage Foundation yesterday with Janet Napolitano, just a second, Gabe, and what she said was that it would have uncovered the Christmas Day bomber. The kind of gels, the explosives, and the underwear would have been uncovered, and then you don't need the pat-down. And she made the point, only 1% of Americans are ever going to be subjected to that kind of intimate pat-down, but the media is blowing it up.
They just have to have naked pictures of themselves taken.
Oh, my God.
I think they need to do more testing. I mean, the radiation for children, I was just reading today that breast cancer survivors, that there's an enhanced increase of breast cancer for them to get that kind of radiation. And so I think there needs to be more research done, and clearly the public's reacting in a way that is going to make this big statement.
I think after Thanksgiving, all bets are off.
Yeah, the day before Thanksgiving.
More stories like this? I mean, the public's going to say they're going to...
Stories like what?
How about
like grabbing somebody's junk, to quote the guy.
I mean, look, obviously it appears to every kind of licentious thought that we have, but it's just not real.
How about to make ourselves safer, we actually start going after the terrorists? This administration has taken all of our techniques for actually discovering who the terrorists are. All the enhanced interrogation techniques are off the table. We're not even looking for anybody.
What about you support profiling? Do you support profiling?
No, I don't think we should profile people just based on ethnicity and race, but I do think we should be smart and use common sense to look at people who are threatened.
The Washington Times had a good editorial about this. Are we better off spending more time looking at a 19-year-old Yemen exchange student or a 90-year-old grandmother in a wheelchair?
Well, again, use common sense. I mean,
well,
whoever we perceive to be...
No. What he's saying is, you know what, the terrorists aren't dumb. If they figure out that you're not going to look at the 90-year-old grandmother in the wheelchair, they will use the 90-year-old grandmother in the wheelchair. Is that a shock?
Maybe not.
They also have learned how to get around these machines.
All right, so Bristol Palin. Well, by the way, I think we interviewed her before she started with Dancing on the Stars, and I think it's enormously courageous. I wouldn't do it. Tucker Carlson did. I would not. Anyway, so she gets to the finale. She works really hard. Here's what happened last night.
I can now reveal that the couple with the lowest combined total of judges' scores and viewer votes is... Brandy and Max. Which means Kyle and Lacey and Jennifer and Derek will face off against Bristol and Mark for the trophy.
We've got to call it Palin derangement syndrome. Now, Sarah Palin is now indicating she may run for president, and she also said in this interview with Barbara Walters, apparently, that if you ran, do you think you could beat Barack Obama? She says yes. I believe she can. I think she's a force to reckon with. I think liberals cannot stand her. Why?
Because she's a threat.
Exactly.
She is a great threat. because she's so incredibly normal. She's so likable. That's one of the reasons that Bristol Palin is doing so well.
Exactly.
Because people identify with this gutsy, courageous girl.
What is with the look? What's with the face?
I am astounded.
What part of it?
I would love Sarah Palin to be president instead of Barack Obama. I would be extraordinarily happy.
This is like, you know, when you say you're so happy that Pelosi has been made the leader of the Democrats, it's like, oh, I would be thrilled. Have Sarah
when
Palin
Barack Obama's a one-term.
Let me tell you, there's not one poll that shows that the American people, Republicans or Democrats, think that she is sufficiently credible to run for president.
We got to take a break. We'll come back. We'll go back to this because I have a lot to tell you as we continue more with our Great American Panel. Straight ahead. And we continue now with our Great American Panel. All right, back to Governor Palin. When asked if she was weighing a 2012 run, I am engaged in the internal deliberations, candidly having the discussion with my family. If you ran for president, Barbara Walters asked her, could you beat Barack Obama? I believe so. I believe she can.
Listen, if Governor Palin's going to run for president, or any Republican candidate, I think one group they shouldn't overlook is this next generation of Christians. I mean, this group in 2004 came along with President Bush. In 2008, they voted twice as much for Obama as they did for Kerry. And in this election, they're completely up for grabs. And I think if I were Governor Palin...
You're saying Christians voted 2-1 Obama over Kerry?
Yep.
In a 4-year... Why, considering all the controversy over Jeremiah Wright?
Well, President Obama reached out, and his campaign had a significant outreach to the next generation to engage them in the issues that they care about, which are very different than just abortion and gay marriage. And I think that's what this next generation is getting into. They want to be involved in the agenda. They don't want to just be standing up for a couple of key points that the past religious right has been known for. And they're getting engaged in I mean, they're more pro-life, Sean, than their parents.
And, you know, those voters who came out in droves and voted for Barack Obama are disillusioned. They thought that they were voting for real hope and change. And now they're not. They haven't turned against him yet. But they're standing back wondering what happened. And they are looking for an alternative. And someone like Sarah Palin, or somebody who's very articulate and compelling and has a positive, optimistic message, can reach out, I think, very effectively to this newly engaged younger voter.
You know, I'm going to tell you what I think 2012 will come down to. It's going to come down to, and I think I love that there's going to be a great, vigorous debate, and a lot of good candidates seem that they're going to be coming forward for the Republicans. It's going to come down to a classic conservative liberal view of the world. I mean, Barack Obama is now going to run on Obamacare. He's going to run on his horrible economic record, his appeasement, you know, philosophy and mentality, and apologizing for America. And I got to be honest, I think when push comes to shove, 2 more years of him, and people will be begging him to build Habitat for Humanity homes with Jimmy Carter.
Look, I just don't see how he can be beat at this point. And I mean, if you look at the foreign policy, if you look at what's going on in Iraq, since President Bush set the surge. Things are good in Iraq pretty much.
Thanks
you look
to Bush.
at Afghanistan, the additional troops that the President Obama has sent in.
3/4 of what they asked for.
If you look at all of the field, Republican field right now, there is not one candidate that you would say a consensus will form around that will allow the Republicans to defeat President
you sound
Obama.
like Barack Obama and Nancy Pelosi, like you didn't even hear the results of the election.
No,
you have no idea that they were truly shellacked.
Oh, so what, Kate?
So there's no, right now he couldn't win. He most certainly was on the ballot.
Let me just say this to you, Kate.
He was on the ballot.
No,
yes,
I think in large part it was a referendum in some part. But
on
let me just tell
policies.
you, when he's on the ballot, picking up on something Gabe was talking about, you're going to get more young people. You're going to get a different electorate to the polls.
That's an assumption.
Listen,
wait a minute.
That's not an assumption.
That's an assumption on your part.
Juan is right. If the Republicans don't understand how to outreach to a younger generation, they're going to miss the swing vote that's going to make the difference in the 2012 election.
Look, I don't doubt that Barack Obama, his personality, there may be groups of people that vote for him just because he's Barack Obama and they never woke up from that hypnotic trance of yes, we can, and they're still shouting it in their minds as a mantra every night.
Let me just try to help you, because look, let me say something. If you really want a Republican to defeat President Obama, you should not take
I want a conservative to win.
Okay, well, you should not, I imagine, will be a Republican, Sean. And you should not take the wrong lesson from what happened in the election. It's not that people fell in love with Republicans right away and said Obama's the devil.
Nobody's saying that they did.
That's not it.
But just look on very symbolic things. John Boehner giving back the Pelosi plane. But the House and Senate Republicans giving up earmarks. Harry Reid holding on to them. Democrats not stupid enough to hang on to Pelosi. That was the dumbest thing I've seen.
Absolutely. I think that you're right, that conservatives have to be articulate, and they have to show why Obamacare is disastrous for young people, for their job prospects, for the future of freedom in this country. And I think as long as they can be effective advocates for that and reach out to where young people are, Facebook, Twitter, all the things that Obama did well, then they win.
So Romney's going to take him on Obamacare? Oh, no,
I don't think so. I don't think he can. But I think there are a lot of solid Republican governors.
I just think the next presidential candidate needs to understand the next Christians if they're going to win the election.
All right, guys, good to see you all. Great panel tonight, and that is all the time we have left this evening. Thanks for being with us. The news continues. Greta's in New York. To go on the record, Greta, take it away.